Good day to you. It's like 4:30 in the morning. I got up and I couldn't fall back to sleep. So I decided I'm gonna make French toast, and I like to show you how I make my version of it. And I think you should make it too. It's delicious. It's easy. It's delicious. All right. So this is how I make French toast. All right. So here are basic ingredients. I'm going to use 2 eggs. We're going to beat them into the bowl there. Some cinnamon, ground cinnamon, a nice amount of butter. We're going to use about a tablespoon of this butter, and some nice thick bread. You can use regular, like, I don't know, like thin sliced bread, but when you make French toast, it's nice to have thick bread. A lot of people use, what's that bread that I think Jewish people sell, that you buy it in the store? It's called the challah or challah back on a bread. So anyway, I happen to use this one for French toast because it's nice and thick. And, oh, look at that. It's non-GMO. Anyway, but you can use any bread you want. But, you wanna get a thick sliced bread, and I usually don't eat white bread, but when I make French toast, I will use white bread. Okay, so let's show you this. Oh, you're gonna need a nice frying pan, a non-stick preferably. And while you're doing this, on the side you can cook up some bacon, some eggs, or you can just have it on its own. Okay. All right, so this is what we're gonna do. First, we're gonna take a sip of the coffee. Ay, qué bueno. Alright, so you're going to take your eggs, you're going to beat them, mix them up as, like if you're going to make an omelet or something. Our knob of butter, I'm going to put into my non-stick. It's off camera. Let that melt. And to the eggs, I want to add a tiny bit of the cinnamon. A tiny bit. So, I mean, this is a tablespoon, but this would be like the equivalent of a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. Right in there. I like the cinnamon flavor, but if you put too much cinnamon in the egg mixture, you'll create a situation where it'll burn in the pan. Okay, that's good. So that's just to get a little more flavor in there. And of course you're going to add more cinnamon when you're done. Did I mention the maple syrup? You want to get nice maple syrup, not the syrup you usually buy in the store. It's actually like cornstarch. Yeah. So this is for later. This is real maple syrup. This joint cost me like $12. The other thing I wanted to mention is, I can't remember, cinnamon. Oh, powdered sugar. What I do is I take brown sugar and I put it in a processor or in a blender and powder it myself. Alright, let's go to the next step. Alright, so here's our next step. I got my pan ready. Melty butters in there, and you're going to take your nice bread and dip it into the egg mixture. Right in there. Get all sides covered. This is good. Get the sides covered. Oh look, this side isn't covered, so we're going to go right back in there. Alright, we have good coverage. Alright, and then you're just going to dip it right into the pan. Let me get the heat up a little more. You want to have it on medium low, but towards low. You don't want it to cook too fast. You don't want the egg to like burn out quick. Let's get the other one done here. And you can see you got the little flecks of cinnamon around, which is nice. And we'll put our other guy right here. I need a cameraman, sorry. As always, this is a low budget production. Alright, so I want to have it in the pan there. Let me reposition the camera. Hold on. Alright, so we're right above, and you can see on the sides that egg is starting to get white there on the bottom, right? So it's cooking up. And like I said, I want it medium low towards low. And you know, after a minute, minute and a half, I'm gonna lift it up to see if it's nice and brown, and we'll cook the other side. Alright, so I'm gonna let a minute and a half pass and we'll come back. Alright, I kinda let 2 minutes pass. You can see it's like bubbling up on the bottom there. So I'm gonna flip this and see if it's ready. Ooh, why can't I? I'm like scared. Nice, very nice. Nice! That's even nicer, this one. I guess this had a little more of the cinnamon, which is fine. Okay, so we're gonna let it go another minute, 2 minutes, and then check on that side. This side can go a little more, but I'm happy with it too. Alright, so in review, a minute and a half, 2 minutes one side. You know, look at it. A minute and a half the other side. Okay. Alright, full disclosure, I did take a peek before the minute and a half, and this side browned quickly. So what I did was I lowered the heat. So now I did go to low. Of course, I don't want anything to burn. And I flipped it over, and I'm gonna let it go on the other side. I'm free balling it, so I'm gonna let it go 30 seconds. But this is basically done. But just for the sake, I also have some beef bacon cooking here in the other pan. This looks good. But like I said, I'm going to let it go maybe another 30-20 seconds. Alright. Alright, so this is my French toast nice and done. I have other stuff going, like bacon and eggs. Let me plate it and show you what it should look like when you serve it with everything. Alright, so here's my plate. You know what? My fault. You know what I should have done? You know what? I'll come back. I'm gonna slice these. Alright, I rearranged my plate a little bit. So here's my French toast. Look how nice and brown it looks. A couple of eggs. This is a Angus steak bacon here on the side. And to finish off, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put some powdered sugar. And I think I mentioned before, I just take brown sugar and I put it through my food processor to granulate it, because I don't like white sugar. I like my sugar the way I like my whip. Alright, let me stop. My mother's gonna punch me. I like brown, alright? So there's some white sugar, or brown sugar I should say. And we're gonna also put a pinch of cinnamon. So just go to your ground cinnamon. A pinch. Right? And lastly, I'm gonna use, again, I'm gonna show you this. Use real maple syrup, man. Maple syrup is different from like the pancake syrups you buy. Pancake syrups are actually like just, like I hear it's the corn syrup. And maple syrup is quite expensive, but I hear that it actually has nutrients in it. I mean, if you want the regular pancake syrup, that's totally up to you. But alright, so that is how I make delicious French toast. Oh, my neighbors are arguing. I don't know if you hear them. Alright, well, we'll cut it off there. Peace.